Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to a video by Victor Tan. Now, I've not heard of this gentleman before, but he was recommended to me, this video specifically, for me to take a look at. So please, 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 the link to this video will be in the description down below. Go give him a like, a subscribe, a little watch over. I mean, I haven't seen any of his other videos, so I don't actually know what his content genuinely is about. But well, today we're going to find out. And this video specifically is, why does the Malaysian media hate India and love Pakistan? Well, I can think of one very big reason for this. A pretty obvious reason. I think a reason that is like 60 or 70% of the population. Yeah. Anyways, look at this guy's room. Can we just take a step back and look at this dude's room? Look, he's got this. What is this? Like a cello? Is that what those are called? He's got a violin. He's got a bunch of Pokemon. I see Dragonite. What is this? Oh, that's Lapras. He's got a Dialga, Pikachu. His desk kind of looks like my desk. It's a bit of a mess, and you know what? That's fine. I got my microphone arm. I got my monitors. I got cords everywhere. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, we're gonna watch this video. Hello, Sepupas. So most of you are aware of the India-Pakistan conflict right now, and you are probably aware that Malaysian media doesn't like India very much. Day after day, we open up Facebook or anything else, and pro-Pakistani stories come out one after another like mushrooms after rain, assaulting our feeds, trying to manipulate our psychology, thoughts, views, and opinions on the conflict in alignment with what could almost a national position or something like that. I have no idea. We could call almost a national position. Yeah. Either way, it is interesting to watch Astro, Awani, and Sinar Harayan, amongst others, go out there and blatantly showcase a bias towards one side, demonstrating also that they're falling as media organizations. Where is the journalistic integrity? I know that in a way they have to give the people what they want, but where is the coverage from both sides that we expect from quality journalism and good journalism? I think we know why specifically. Malaysian media is the way that it is. Well, you decide if it's here. All right. Anyways, we're gonna watch the video. Let's give it a quality little watch. Yeah.
If you've been anywhere near the internet in the past couple of days, you probably know a bit about India, Pakistan. Nothing better to get that algorithm going than knowing that two nuclear superpowers could potentially blow your entire.
This is interesting. Should I? I don't. Oh God, I'm like hovering over his. Democracy manifest. I'm hovering. I see a lot of channels that have like this call to action to subscribe. I don't really do that. I don't do a lot of call to actions to subscribe. If you like my channel, if you like my commentary, please subscribe down below. Let's get on with the show.
Entire world up, no big deal. Conflict is a complex thing. At any given point in a war, there's more than one war going on. It's not just the land, sea, and air war that's going on, but instead there's a battle for the hearts and the minds of people. Story after story, outlet after outlet, channel after channel,
so true.
Trying to share this idea of who's winning, what happened, who said what, and who's on the right side of history. So, you know, I go out, I check the news like any other normal person, and every single time a big question just comes up on my mind. Why does the Malaysian media hate India so much? News is how we learn about the world. Or at least, that's how it's supposed to work. If the news media is working, then that means that it provides accurate, timely, relevant information about events, issues, and developments nationally, locally, and globally. Now,
that's the way it's supposed to be, but unfortunately, it feels like more and more the legacy media is out there just to push their own narratives. So I feel like you almost have to go to these independent journalistic sources in order to get a more accurate representation of what's actually going on.
I have a very huge problem with the Malaysian media at the moment because somehow or another, it doesn't matter what media platform you go on at the moment, right? Like, almost every single one of them is going to have a Pakistan bias. Just in the past 1 week alone, like the stories that I get are things like belajar bertahan seperti Pakistan from Sinar Harian, and then mungkin India lupa Pakistan adalah.
Okay. Perhaps India forgot that Pakistan is a country of a brave race? Huh?
Bangsa berani. And oh, possibly the most wild one of all is this one right here from Sinar Harian. Beranikah kita ubah.
Translation for international audience. Do we dare to change the direction in which we pray? Again, we see why. In the first sentence, we see why the Malaysian media is backing Pakistan. Context: this was written as a headline in context of recognizing the fact that Pakistan purchased its J-10C fighters from China. Essentially, it's a reference to Pakistan's alignment with China and the idea that perhaps now there is a challenge for people who side Pakistan to change the direction in which they pray. This is tremendously off given that direction of prayer, Qiblat, is well known enough that I don't have to say the suggesting it changes it's effectively blasphemy. Yeah.
Kiblat dari Barat. Wow. Incredible. And of course, we can't forget the simple fact that at the end of the day, it is the Pahalgam attack that started all of this, right? Like, it's a fight between India and terrorists. Not necessarily a fight between India and Pakistan, but like, the media has basically like framed it in that way. Now, I'm not saying that Pakistan is on the right side of history or it's
Point. Pakistan could be in the right or could be in the wrong. As a citizen of Malaysia, which is a neutral country, I frankly don't care about who is correct or wrong in this family dispute. I just want to know accurate information from both sides about the conflict from the media and from an unbiased perspective.
Not for that matter. Fundamentally, India-Pakistan is not in our hands. It is a family dispute.
So I have to ask, right?
When I read Malaysian news, I can't help but wonder, why do they want Pakistan to be on the right side of history? Now, of course, there
Being a busybody in a conflict that has nothing to do with you.
are some people out there who are biased, sibuk, and cannot mind their own business, like Dr. Maza, about how, Malaysia and Muslims have to support Pakistan without even realizing that they are not the foreign minister. They don't have a role in deciding how Malaysia engages with the foreign world, and they should stick to the mediocre job that they are doing instead of trying to comment on foreign policy, especially when they don't even know that India has over 200 million Muslims, which
It's probably more as well. These estimates are old. These are old estimates. I would say it's probably more. People have told me in the comments that it's closer to 300 million at this point, especially in recent times with a lot of Bangladeshi illegal immigration and stuff like that. It's probably astronomically higher now. And this is the thing. This is the thing that I hinted at. It's unfortunate, but this Islamic extremist angle, which has just infested the perception of Islam all around the world. Unfortunately, again, I will preface this loud and clear. I have nothing against Muslims. I have nothing against the average Islam follower. What is wrong is the Islamist extremists that tend to ruin the image and make things worse for a lot of people. And unfortunately, what we see right now is that in Pakistan, the majority of those in power and the majority of those in the government seem to be Islamist extremists. That's what we need to worry about, unfortunately. Now, the average Muslim guy, the average Muslim person that has no extremist tendencies, they're probably fine. They're probably okay. But it's when this extremist corruption starts to push through and take over the whole perception of the religion, that's when it becomes an issue. And it's very unfortunate.
it seems they don't even care about. But when I look at the Malaysian news, I just can't help but wonder, bros, why do you hate India so much? Like, there has been no article where I've actually seen what the Indian government actually says, what they think, and there's nothing that actually favors them in any way out there. See, for those jokers that know nothing about geopolitics and want to so-called appeal to the Ummah, it kind of makes sense. But if you are the media, you have a responsibility to the people of Malaysia to convey a full picture, something that actually makes it so that people can make good decisions. In what way are you helping people to make good decisions by going out there and then just presenting statement after statement from Pakistan while you just completely ignore the Indian narrative? If I were a Malaysian child just living in this day and age, the only thing I would see is that Pakistan is the good guy and then India is the bad guy. There is no deviating from that. This is not how it should be. I'm not here to hear a fairy tale. I'm here to get informed about the world. And if you are not doing that, I think it's quite fair to say that you are not actually fulfilling your role. Now, of course, someone could say that I didn't look at every single article. How could I possibly say that the media of Malaysia is biased towards Pakistan? Well,
I'm assuming it's the major news outlets that are the one that's perpetrating this, and these larger news outlets have a lot of power, they have a lot of reach, and in an average, everyday, busy person's life, they're not going to be able to dig through to multiple sources. They're going to probably open up, Google, and there'll probably be like some headlines there. They'll read the headlines and they'll move on. Most people don't even read beyond the headlines, and that's a huge, unfortunate issue. People just don't read beyond headlines. And if you're busy and you only have, a couple minutes of the day to even look at the news, and the news is, pushing to this biased perspective towards you, that's what you're going to believe. And it's very unfortunate, but that's just how things work. And you can look all over the world and you will see that being a massive, massive, massive issue.
I did a full-scale analysis of different news agencies like Astro Awani, Berita Harian, Utusan Online, The Star, the New Straits Times, Malay Mail, even The Edge and Bernama, right? And in this case, what I did was I copied all the headlines that appear basically in the different social media platforms right here, did a sentiment analysis with ChatGPT. So it was actually quite a lot of headline scraping, and here's the table that I ended up creating right here. Not a single one of these outlets has an India bias.
Wow.
Every single one of them either has no bias with Bernama.
No bias or extreme pro-Pakistan and extreme anti-Indian bias. Wow. And almost no neutral coverage. Except for Bernama, National Newswire balanced. Economic policy lens only, The Edge.
Nama, The Edge, and otherwise, but everything else is pro-Pakistan and anti-India. At some point,
Wow.
you just have to wonder, right? Is this Sinar Harian or Sinar Pakistan? Is it Astro Awani or Astro Rawalpindi? Looking at all this right now, I actually have no idea. See, I find this really disturbing because the more and more I look at all of these stories, I can see the way that they're shaping people's perception of India. And on the comment sections, you can actually see all these people going out and then trying to mock our local Indian community. And so
Local Indians have a what is this? I consider it important to highlight this. Local Indians have a primeval? Ancient connection to India as the country from which their ancestors came, but simultaneously were born into citizenship in Malaysia. They are loyal Malaysian citizens, but this does not mean that they cannot want to know or care about what is happening in India. Some may not care at all, and that is up to them, but there are many people who are not only taking the side of Pakistan allegedly because of religion, but in turn marginalizing the local Indian community while claiming that it is because of religion and using this issue as an opportunity to mock or marginalize the local Indians and express racism, suggest that they should leave Malaysia. These people are extremists and they are poor, but not enough action is being taken to neutralize them. Much more can and should be explored to accomplish that. So there's discrimination against the diaspora of Indians in Malaysia, apparently, from this extremely biased news. That's really bad.
what's the result? People start insulting India, talking about how, they're not loyal to Malaysia. Oh, they're not going to support Malaysia or something. And before you know it, then people are talking about Kuil Haram, balik ke India, durian, and any sort of nonsense that they want to use in order to justify their hatred. Now, before anyone starts accusing me of being anti-Pakistan, I'm not saying that you need to celebrate India as the hero. I'm literally just saying, put in some Indian voices along the way. That's not very difficult, right?
He just wants fair coverage. Victor Tan here wants fair coverage so people can see all sides of the story. It's good that he's shouting this out. It's very good. Because I try to shout this out as well. Whenever I talk about here in the USA. it is incredibly biased the way that the media had perceived this Operation Sindoor.
To just go right there and show this distorted picture of the facts and of the statements that have been made is really a showcase of the failure of Malaysian media to actually accomplish anything that is remotely similar to informing people, which if you think about it is really very sad and very unfortunate, because the news media, whether we like it or not, shapes the way that our policies go, the way that our government actually interacts with other parties out there. And as a country that trades with both India and Pakistan, you'd expect that at the very least, we would have some neutrality when it comes to actually dealing with them. And in fact, our relationship with India is more important because we trade much more with them. They're our largest buyer of palm oil, and we trade.
Can I just say, ChatGPT has like a night mode filter, right? Every time it switches to his ChatGPT screen, it like blinds me. Sorry. We'll go back.
Because we trade.
Holy cannoli! Look at this! This man got pulled up. Look at, he's got more bars than me. He's like, I only have half this many open at any given time.
Trade much more with them. They're our largest buyer of palm oil, and we trade with them also rice, sugar, and onions and garlic. Like, they're far more important, way more important compared to what we get from Pakistan, which is basically
Pakistan
just halal meat. But still, somehow or another.
But you look at the population, a 60-70%, Muslim. Halal meat is important for a larger portion of the population. So
this type of bias is out there. Malaysia is supposed to be a neutral country, and the very fact that we are neutral, it suggests that maybe we shouldn't be looking at things from just one side, either the India side or the Pakistan side. But at the same time though, I think it's not a secret to a lot of people out there that the media depends on what people want. It shapes what people demand, and in turn what people ask of the media. Like, Malaysians have this pattern, right, of actually like trying to silence or to fight against the stories that they don't actually like. And I think the clearest example was actually when there were Hamas protests in Gaza. Yes, that's right, there were actually Hamas protests in Gaza. And probably
it's actually true. And there's actually some more footage that have come out recently. I've been trying to keep track of. We're going to ignore the whole Greta Thunberg going to Gaza to do a free Palestine thing. But there has been a recent videos and stories and such where there has been aid that came in from, I guess, the USA, where they interviewed a lot of Palestinians in Gaza, and they were saying that they want Hamas to step down. Essentially, they want Hamas to step down to stop the conflict. Now, was this smart of these media sources to record and videotape these interviews? Probably not. I pray for the people. I hope these people are safe for speaking out against Hamas, specifically inside of Gaza. But that does show that there isn't just one narrative being pushed, which unfortunately, again, bias is strong. Bias pushes a narrative. It hides out the other. It purposely goes out of the way to push out and hide the other narratives. A lot of people, specifically around Gaza, only get the pro-Hamas stuff, like that gets sent out into the rest of the world.
Reason that you didn't hear about this if you were reading Astro Awani or Sinar Harian is that those articles were actually taken down, so you literally cannot
find just straight up, deleted
those articles at all. The reason for that is that the moment the articles were posted, right, then immediately people started saying,
"Don't be a traitor, propaganda, not sure it's..."
Don't be a traitor? Don't be a traitor because you don't like Hamas? Hamas is a I can't say it because YouTube flagged my thing, but they're a T organization.
Sahih. Jangan rosakkan fikiran orang.
I might have already said it earlier in the video. I'm trying to self-censor. I'm trying to self-censor super hard because YouTube has been going after my channel incredibly hard the past week. But yeah, I know. Anyways.
Probably realize we can't have this on our platform. And before you know it, poof, The articles were gone both on Facebook as well as on the actual website. Literally, just try and search for these articles. You cannot actually find them because people were pissed off, they were angry because like their story, that idea actually that they had of like Hamas being freedom fighters was just completely broken apart. And like you can just imagine that if they were to actually publish a pro-India article, then what will happen is that there would just be people who would just comment over and over again and tell the world that the article needs to be taken down for the sake of agama dan bangsa, even though these people actually have nothing to do with Malaysia at all. Now, I don't know what's happening behind the
Crazy.
scenes, whether the media is biased because
Crazy.
they have their own ideology or agenda, or because they are cowering to the people, right? But like, if you think about it, like neither of these scenarios is good. Like, if we have an independent media, one that can actually inform people, then you'd have a much more educated, well-read society that would actually be able to discuss and debate things rather than get into echo chambers all the time, fight about stupid things, and then at the end of the day, just come to the conclusion that they had at the very start, which, in my mind, is a very bad recipe for a civil society. If you don't actually have a good media ecosystem, right, then how can people ever become smart? Every single thing that they get is going to be filtered through a set of like rose-tinted lenses or some sort of agama dan bangsa narrative before it reaches their brains, and by the time it does reach, then it's going to end up polluting everything that they are saying until eventually the whole country becomes stupid because everybody's just parroting the same narrative. At the end of the day, I think the Malaysian news media world treats news more like propaganda than actual news. See, right, like if it were actual news, then like they would inform you about the world, they would tell you in no uncertain terms, right, what the facts are. Not the alternative facts, not the story that's basically
Oh God, I remember her. Is she a
uncertain
thing
terms,
anymore?
right,
I don't
what
think
the
she
facts
is.
are. Not the alternative facts.
What is this? Novel sales increased after President Trump advisory Kellyanne Conway comments about alternative facts. I don't think she's a thing anymore. She was kind of crazy. Let's be honest. Let's be real here.
It's not a story that's basically meant to paint your Pakistan army in the beautiful colors of green, even as you scream Pakistan Zindabad or anything else out there. At the end of the day, this is a conflict. We don't know exactly what has happened. Like, maybe Pakistan is at fault, maybe India is at fault, maybe both of them are at fault all at the same time.
Well, we do know. Now, I will say, you know what? Maybe he wasn't able to get the information because of the Malaysian media bias, but what happened was Pahalgam, Indian citizens died. So India responded by taking out these encampments of terror organizers. Pakistan decided to defend these encampments. And India decided to stop Pakistan from attacking them again by destroying their air bases. So you trace it all back. Whose fault is it? I think we all know.
But like, if you're going out there and then you're just sharing this narrative where one side is clearly the enemy and one side is the victim, while not telling us everything that we need to hear, then what you have there is not somebody fighting for justice. Like, what you have there is an unreliable and biased narrator that is basically lying to its audience. At no point of my life did I lose as much faith in Malaysia's news media as when it came to the India-Pakistan conflict. Because like, it's like they're not even trying to show you reality anymore. It's like they're literally trying to manufacture a type of reality for you and then just hoping that you will accept it after they shove it down your throat. And I think that that's very, very unhealthy for our society. Of course, it's not that like we should rely only on the Malaysian news media. Like, I think to become an informed citizen in this day and age, right, like nobody can just afford to read things from one type of news source at all. But I think that it really does say something when your entire country's news media is like that, right? And that's where other news sources around the world, right, they become more and more valuable to you and your local news media ends up dying. I can only hope that if you think that this isn't something that should continue out there, at the very least, the next time you read an article, just be aware, right? Like, how is this outlet trying to shape the way that I see things? How am I being influenced by what they have chosen to write? And what agenda do they maybe have along the way? I don't think that that's a controversial question to ask, and I think that it's something that we as Malaysian citizens, or citizens of any country in fact, should be asking, right, of the media that's supposed to tell us the truth about the world. Alright, and that's all I'll say about that, and bye.
Goodbye. I like this video. It was a good video. I enjoyed this video. He brought up very, very, very good points. And yeah, it it just goes to show that, you know, this media manipulation, it runs deep in many countries, and that's very, very unfortunate. Super, super unbelievably unfortunate. This video will be linked in the description down below. Go check out Victor Tan. Let's see what else he has on his channel real quick.
From the beginning.
What does he talk about typically here? Oh, the international student catastrophe of Harvard University. Let's see what his most popular video is. India, Pakistan, the biased mediators saga. Oh, the video we just watched. The side hustle of Newton Ling, false accusations, shameless profits. I don't know. Like, I've never heard of this. Why Malaysia importing Palestine criminals? Malaysian Indians in the time of India-Pakistan conflicts, the portrayal of Rafizi Ramal. I mean, he seems to have some interesting things. I might check out some other videos he has on here. Yeah, I might have to check out some of his other videos here. I liked his take. I really enjoyed his take. I thought he was very concise and well spoken. So yeah, I'm gonna read some comments though. We're gonna read some comments just to get a good idea on what his audience has to say on this topic. Malaysian Islam, Pakistan Islam, doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. I mean, I said it at the very beginning. It's unfortunate because Islam's simple. As an Indian Muslim, I find it disappointing that Malaysia supports Pakistan simply because it's a Muslim country. Ignoring the complexities of regional issues, Pakistan has a history of being in denial. Remember, even Osama bin Laden was hiding in their own backyard when he was captured. And here's the thing. There are many Indian Muslims that will support India to the very end. And you have to appreciate that, okay? What to say? Biased news. They forgot what Muslims can do to Muslims like Pakistan did to Bangladesh. Only India sacrificed their army to help and build Bangladesh's back. For Muslims, their priority is always their fellow Muslims. Muslims do not see what is wrong and right. They support brotherhood. SGD. It's the first time I've seen SGD in a currency. For the first time I watched a Malaysian YouTuber. Content start to end. Keep doing it. We can all see you as a brave person. Thanks. I've watched a few Malaysian YouTubers. I think like some gaming Malaysian YouTubers in the past. But this is the first commentary one that I've actually seen. Even with Malaysians' media bias towards Pakistan, I'm still going with India's side. Just that says a lot about how Pakistan is in the wrong. Malaysia once a Buddhist and Hindu region. In summary, Malaysia is the busybody caring about people in Palestine and Pakistan, but let their own people suffer. I stopped taking Malaysian media seriously since 20 years ago, meant for the people for certain intelligence. Oof, that is a statement. No surprise, Muslim Malay can't like India against their book. Bias. As a Malaysian, I get my news from Asmongold. Gosh dang, Asmongold. Good old Asmongold. They are Muslims. Muslims the only reason. And subject to Muslim Brotherhood. Simple answer. Dumb video. Anti-clickbait title. Jeez. What? What is Sandeep here? What is he saying? Dumb video. Anti-clickbait title. What? Lol, if you think Israel is an artificial ethno-state created by the British in the name of religion at the cost of native people, then Pakistan is just that? Huh? I never knew that. There's no rationality in Malaysia today. My respect for the country gone downhill because they are Muslim. Lol. Simple. No one likes bullies. What if no one likes bully? India treatment of Kashmiris have caused Pahalgam, and rather than accepting that they are the problem, Indian Hindutva religion, she's saying calling the India religion fascist government has started pointing fingers. This is like pure like rot propaganda, rotted brain. India is on the wrong side of history in this one. Pahalgam did not start. The occupation of Kashmir did. This is the India propaganda about Pahalgam has started. The India has nothing to contribute to the cause of the attack. This is just pure brain rot. This is just absolute pure brain rot. Wow. Deeply saddened by this fact as an Indian. I love Malaysia and have deep respect for the culture, but after this, I don't know if I can look at them the same way. Just look at the media bias. It's the media problem. It's not the people problem. Again, I say it in almost every single video that I put out. Again, you can hate the government, But when it comes to the average citizen, the average person, you take each individual at the content of their character, right? You don't do a blanket label of the entire population of a specific country just because you hate that country. Like me, I hate the CCP. Doesn't mean I hate Chinese people. All right, that's the way it should be. Both follow false religion, false prophet. Okay, because they are green snakes too. All right, I think we get it. There's a lot of a lot of pointing out, right? A lot of pointing out. Okay, link to this video. It's gonna be in the description down below. Please go and check it out. Give Victor Tan here a like, subscribe, leave a comment on his channel. If you liked my commentary, also subscribe, like, leave a comment, recommend me a video. And with that, I'm out of here. Take care. Goodbye.